Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'll share with you how to cut the 6-piece skirt that you can see right now. This is the front part and this is the back part. If you notice, the front part is just 3 and the back part has 2 pieces at the center, which makes it 4 pieces at the back. The opening at the center back is for the zipper allowance. So let's get started. This is the required measurements I will need for this work: hip circumference, waist to hip, waist to knee, and full skirt length. So I'll first of all cut the center front. In order to do that, I'll fold this fabric into 2 and I'll make sure that the side facing me is the wrong side. So I'll be cutting on the wrong side of the fabric and I'll fold it and make sure that it's at least 10 inches wide. The next thing I'll do is to come down by 0.5 inch from the tip of my fabric. This is in order for me to get my starting line and also eliminate any unequal part at the tip of the fabric. Now this line that I've marked now is going to be the waist line. Then from this waist line now I'll place my tape to mark the waist to hip measurement, waist to knee, and full skirt length. So waist to hip is 9.5 inches, waist to knee is 22 inches, and full skirt length I'm going to leave it to the end of this fabric because I want it to be long and full at the down part. After I've measured out the full skirt length, I'll draw a straight line on that measurement to indicate my full skirt length line. I'll come to the hip line and draw a straight line, and also on the knee line to mark my measurement. The next thing I'll do, I'll go to the waistline and impute my nipple to nipple measurement by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. So I'll mark the 4 inches on the waistline, on the hip line, and on the knee line I'll remove 0.5 inch from the 4 inches I used at the waist and at the hip line. After that, I'll add 0.5 inch on the waist, hip, and knee line for joining allowance. Once that is done, I'll connect the points together. I'll connect the waist to the hip, from the hip to the knee. Once that is done, I'll connect the knee to the width of the skirt. But before I do that, I'll measure and make sure that I'll be connecting to 10 inches wide because that is what I want. Now, if you have enough fabric or you want your skirt to be fuller, you can add extra inches. That is basically all for the center front. The next thing I'll do now is to cut it out. If you remember, I came down by 0.5 inch before I started cutting, so I'll cut that part out also. After that is done, the next thing I'll do is to cut the center back. And remember, the center back have zipper allowance, so I'm going to leave 2 inches zipper allowance. So I'll add the 2 inches zipper allowance, draw a straight line on that zipper allowance. Once I'm done marking the zipper allowance, I'll place the center front. From the zipper allowance this way, I'll place it and pin it down. Then I cut it out. So after I'm done cutting out the center front and the center back, I'm going to notch the zipper allowance. I'll notch and open the zipper allowance up. After that is done, I will come to the knee line and notch the knee line. This will help me when I'm joining. Now that I'm done cutting the center front and the center back, the next thing I'll do is to cut the side. Now we have 4 sides, 2 sides at the front and 2 sides at the back. So I'm going to fold my fabric into 4 now. I'll fold it into 2 at first, then I'll fold it again to get the remaining 4 pieces of our 6-piece skirt. After folding my fabric into 4, I'll use the widest part of my fabric for the down and the slimmest part for the up. So if you don't have plenty fabric and your fabric does not have pattern, so you can use this method. You just fold it into 4 and use the widest part for the down and the slimmest part for the up. Then you place the center front on it. After you place the center front on the fabric, you make sure that the fabric you folded into 4, they are equal at the down. Then after you place it, you make sure that at the other side, the remaining part, you have at least 5 inches. After I have properly placed the center front on the fabric, I'm going to cut the side out to bring out that shape. As you can see, I am done cutting and this is what it looks like. I'm going to notch this new part now. I don't joke with my notching because I don't want any form of drama when I am joining. When I am done cutting the side, I'm going to bring the center front out and place it beside the fabric this way. After placing the center front beside this 4 pieces fabric, I will extend the waistline, the hip and the new line to the fabric. Once I'm done with that, I will divide my waist measurement by 4 and place it from the center front to the other side. And I'm also doing the same thing for the hip line now. I'll divide the hip measurement by 4 and place it from this center front to the other side. Then at the new line, I'll divide the hip measurement by 4 minus 0.5 inch. Then I will impute the measurement, placing from the center front to the other side of the fabric. After that, I'll add 2 inches sewing allowance on the waist, on the hip, and also on the new line. Once that is done, I'll connect the measurement. I'll connect the waist to the hip, then from the hip to the new, from the new to the full skirt length. Before I connect the new to the full skirt length, I'll place my ruler this way, connecting it to the end of the fabric at the other side this way. And that is basically all on how to cut the other 4 pieces of our 6 pieces skirt. Remember, we cut the center front and the center back before we now cut the side. So now I'll cut it out for you to see what it looks like. As you can see, after cutting, I have 4 pieces for the side front and the side back. So now to have that nice curve at the hem, I'll come up by 2 inches. Then I'll connect from that 2 inches into the fabric. Then I'll cut it out. I'll also come to the nail line and notch. This will indicate where I'll be joining. This other side is the hip side, while this side will be the side I will join to the side and center front. If you follow all the steps, this is what you have: 1 center front and 2 sides, and 2 center back and 2 sides. In my next video, I will show you how to sew it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. See you in my next video.